Welcome back to another episode of the Wrestle Brothers podcast. Keith.
I'm Gabe.
And I'm Rudy. With my
Eric
ass
sitting in a different place again.
Yep. New change of scenery again.
Kind of changing positions, seeing which one we feel like feels the best.
That's what she said.
That was why I said it. Okay,
Yeah, it's gone.
as you can tell by the title of this video, it's going to be the greatest matches of this past year, 2017.
Yeah, talk about some of our favorite stuff. I hope everyone had a good Christmas, by the way.
Yeah, good
I know I
Christmas.
did.
Hope you have a happy new year coming up.
Yep. Year's coming up. It'll be 2018 in the next episode.
Yes, it will.
Hope
Yeah.
you're all staying warm because it's really, really cold out there today.
Yeah.
Well, at least here it is.
At least here in Jersey, it was like 10 degrees before.
Whew.
10.
This
Oh, come on,
is like
you
the
enjoy
only
it.
place.
That gives Ty Dillinger a shout out.
Yeah.
Let's face it, our entire fan base is centered in Jersey. That's why we're speaking now.
You never know. There could be someone from California watching. Someone just magically appeared on this.
Look at these losers. These guys suck.
God, you're fucking terrible.
Some guy from like Canada just being like, it's negative 10 here, pussies. Eh?
Sorry, eh?
Hey,
Don't mean to talk shit about you, eh?
oh, it's a real Canadian bacon there, eh?
So I guess we'll start with, you want to start us off, Rudy?
Yeah.
One of your favorite matches of the year.
Finn Balor versus AJ Styles at TLC.
Yeah. That wasn't even supposed to happen.
Thank God for meningitis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it
seriously.
worked out in their favor.
It did. And AJ was sick, too, in that match.
Yeah, the poor guy put on a whole match while
Almost
what,
crapped
stomach
himself.
virus.
Yeah, almost crapped
He might
himself.
have crapped himself. We don't know.
Maybe a little bit of poop came
We'll
out.
have to find out a few years down the road when he retires. It's like, yeah, in that match for Finn Balor,
Poop myself when he
Shot.
hit me with the coup de grace.
I shat myself.
Yep.
Did a little,
A little bit.
not a little bit of poo. A lot of poo came out.
All down my leg. You imagine that? Him walking to the back.
Because he wears the pants, you'd never tell.
If it was a wet one, it'd kind of leak through. Unless it's a log. Then,
Yeah, it could have been a lot.
All right, how do we?
Anyway,
just stop.
No, I agree. I did like that match a lot, considering that it was on such short notice that it was
Yeah.
supposed to happen. AJ wrestled in South America the night before, got on a red-eye flight, flew over to wrestle in that match.
So it's
So-
AJ Styles, Finn Balor, the match was going to be.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was a great match for the two of them, considering how short it was of notice. That's why I think it was even better.
I mean,
than-
for me, it's a match of the year contender. You know, I wouldn't say it was my favorite, but I loved it.
I thought it was a good match. Definitely was up there.
You
For
wanna
me, one of my favorites was an NXT TakeOver, Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate.
Yes.
I cannot say enough about that match because it was so good. The fact that they got an airplane spin to get a huge pop automatically tells you how into that match the crowd, not only the crowd was, but everyone else as well. You know, plus they had Nigel McGuinness calling it because it was a UK tournament thing. That was pretty cool, also to throw in there.
Yeah, that whole tournament itself, all those matches were great.
Yeah. Well, that match was on Takeover.
Well, I mean, it was on TakeOver, but you had the...
Oh, but the tournament itself,
leading up
yeah.
to it.
Well, the tournament as well, also because they actually showcased the wrestling.
Yeah.
Plus, they let Pete Dunne be a little heelish. He attacked his one opponent way before the match was supposed to happen, like the day before.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. You got a cool segment where you got Neville in there. Aleister Black, when he was still Tommy End, before they made him Aleister Black, wrestled each other to a good match. It was a decent match from them, too, as well. But, yeah, I cannot say enough about Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate together.
You like that match, Rudy?
I thought it was good. Yeah, hell yeah. It was just another example that NXT could potentially put on better matches than the main roster really
I have
can.
not seen a takeover that I thought was
Exactly.
Every takeover has been solid,
Yes.
and that's a minimum solid. Other than that, they were great, awesome, excellent. All the
Who was the last person to use an airplane spin? Eugene.
Probably. I mean, one of the female wrestlers may have used it at one point, but it was kind of like a small thing. It wasn't like Tyler Bates. He went and just kept going faster. He was spinning so fast, I was like, holy crap, he's not going to slow down.
I would have thrown up.
And then he stopped. And then went again!
Just imagine just doing that to AJ Styles the night of TLC.
both of them.
Oh shit! I crapped and shit myself at the same time.
Crapped and shit yourself?
Sure did.
You crapped and shit yourself?
Yeah. Like this solid push through the liquid.
So it was like the liquid shot out and a solid one came through. So almost like a smoke ring in a sense.
Yeah, I've had that.
Okay,
Kind of like a sonic boom, like right there. You get the liquid. Okay, moving on.
Moving on, yeah.
One match I thought was really good. It's a tag match. You had the Shield 4.0 versus Cesaro and Sheamus at No Mercy. The one where Cesaro got his teeth knocked in.
Oh,
That entire match was good. And then he got his teeth knocked in.
But he got his teeth knocked in early, too.
And he still did the entire match, and it was great.
Yeah.
Cesaro and Sheamus put on a lot more offense too than the Shield in that match. If you notice,
Yeah.
they were
They
like.
did.
In fact, they impressed me more. There are at moments where I'm like, okay, anyone else would have gotten the 3 count on. They would have won this already. The Shield is just kicking out at everything. You know, that was a little thing that kind of irked me. As much as I love that match, was the fact that like, okay, well, Shield's got to be doing a little bit more. Cesaro and Sheamus is doing everything, and Cesaro's got a busted mouth.
Yeah, Cesaro's teeth are like inside his.
He's with Cyborg.
With
Cyborg.
Yeah. Yeah,
One of the many great tag matches we've had this year.
Oh yeah, speaking one of my favorite matches is Authors of Pain versus DIY versus The Revival.
Yes.
At the One Takeover. Holy crap, was that great. Because it was like a half-hour match. It was elimination. It was like 20 minutes before the first elimination.
Speaking of Authors of Pain, I actually liked their one takeover where they were faced off against Sanity. I thought that was awesome. Where Nikki Cross went
Yeah.
through the table.
Oh god, I felt so bad for her.
Yeah, but
She went through with Killian Dane. She was in between Killian Dane and one of the other guys. I was like, oh god, she's dead. She's absolutely dead.
She's all right, thankfully.
She can take bumps.
Yeah, she could take a lot.
she's a tough
of bumps.
girl.
Yes. What are the
Oh,
matches?
we had the trying to think of which Uso New Day match you wouldn't put on a great match of the year list.
Yeah, you're right. I don't think there was a single match those two teams put on this year that was bad.
For
All of
me-
them were great.
For me personally, I actually really liked their Hell in a Cell match
Yeah,
because it showed
that
us
was brutal.
it showed
too.
a side of the New Day that you didn't expect to see. And I was telling Keith this actually on the way. Xavier Woods was someone who in the beginning when I saw him, like, oh, this guy's not that good. And I feel he got progressively better. In that match, when it was over, I'm like, Xavier Woods is a badass.
You mean you didn't like him as Consequences Creed?
Not really.
Oh, I thought that was.
It wasn't until the New Day where I really started to kind of like him.
Yeah. No, I always knew he was good on the mic, but yes, he definitely has progressed between seeing him as Consequences Creed to him now. I think it's definitely progressed a lot more. So, I agree. I feel like he's a lot better.
I think it's between that match and then their SummerSlam match.
Yeah.
Their two best matches.
That
of the year.
SummerSlam match was awesome.
Wasn't that a pre-show match too?
No.
It was something. It wasn't part of the main.
I think it was pre-show. And
like
that match.
the day before match or something.
Ah.
But it was still probably one of the matches of that night.
Oh, yeah, it was a great match. They never put on a bad match together.
The feud got stale.
Yeah, because that was the only two tag teams we saw while the other ones were spinning in place.
Yep.
Although now they're starting to push Gable and Benjamin. Chad Gable looks great, by the way.
He does. He's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
He was on my my list of top 5.
Yeah, he's
Most
really
exciting
grown on
wrestlers.
me as one of the most exciting people. I think he's really been one of the bright spots of this year as well. But yeah, moving on to other matches. Rudy? Anything?
I actually kind of liked Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar, their first meeting.
Okay.
It was a typical Lesnar kind of,
Lesnar got the shit kicked out of him and then hit it at F5.
but I was just seeing
Braun in there.
the suplex.
Throw
and
him
then
around.
Braun just stands up and he's just like,
Oh!
is that all you got?
Yeah. No, that was cool.
It was
it was an okay match for me. It wasn't my favorite
Yeah, I would
match
put
of the
that on
year.
my greatest.
It was a good match. I enjoyed seeing someone new in there
Yeah.
compared to all the other guys, but
As far as Lesnar goes, his best match of the year was versus AJ Styles.
yeah, and that was even a great match of the year candidate.
Yeah.
Because that match was awesome, and Brock loved that match so much he actually sold for AJ where people thought he was hurt. So, I thought it was great. AJ got in a lot more offense than I thought he did. But in the beginning of that match, you sit there and you see AJ getting tossed around. I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. It's another Brock match. And it didn't. So I was pretty happy.
Yeah. Probably one of my favorite ones of the year. Pretty recently, Aleister Black versus Velveteen
I
Dream.
was just about to say that. I love that match because it had everything you wanted.
It had a fantastic match.
It had a storyline built into it.
And that story was told
in the match. Yeah. But I really like the fact that Velveteen Dream kind of brought in the Shawn Michaels-esque and like the Rick Rude-esque with his pants and everything. Yeah. That was really, really cool. And then just the whole match, like seeing Velveteen Dream from when he was on Tough Enough, where I thought, wow, this kid's got a lot of potential. Give him some time, he can grow. And seeing him now, it's like, wow, he's actually like built himself up, and he's like full on committed to this character. Yeah. And it's different. It's cool. A lot of people like it. Some people are kind of skeptical of the match. Like, I don't know about this Velveteen Dream kind of thing. It was kind of whatever. I'm like, dude, it's something different. It makes you talk about him. And he was in the match he had with Aleister Black was great. I wish they would come up with a cool name for his, like, Death Valley Driver cartwheel move instead of Death Valley Driver with a cartwheel, because that's a mouthful. Come with something else.
Yeah, that's the point.
They can't do Velvet Revolver, because that one would have been a cool name for it. Should do it. So Edge was saying it should be like Velvet Hammer, and I'm like, that's what they call his penis. I would have said something maybe like Red Velvet or something like that, something different.
Chocolate Thunder.
Chocolate Rain.
Racist. Purple Rain.
Chocolate Rain.
Yeah. Okay. Keith? Some other matches. I'm trying to think of some good matches that went down. I will say
War Games.
Yeah. I was just about to say War Games. That match was
We all know
great.
Rudy hated that match.
Yeah, because the Shockmaster lost his helmet.
Okay, now back to 2017. Rudy loved that match.
Yes. I actually watched that match last night because I was so bored. I watched NXT and I was like, War
I thought you were
Games is
talking
right
about
there.
the one with Shockmaster.
No.
I saw that one with Shockmaster. He decided to leave the helmet off because he couldn't keep it on. No, the idea of the character, they're like, oh, you're supposed to wrestle with the helmet and everything, but the helmet was like so loose on his head, so like, just throw him in there. Everyone's like, but that's Fred Rhodes. That's Dusty Rhodes' brother. Yeah, it's out of the bag now. Watch it. Too bad. Yeah. Here comes the Shockmaster. Boo.
No, but I enjoyed that match because it got everyone in there. It was probably one of Authors of Pain's best matches. Yeah. Killian Dane looked
That was
really,
his breakout match this year.
Killian Dane? Oh, yeah. They showcased him a lot in that match. I really wonder... Kyle O'Reilly took a lot of headshots in that match from what I remember. One of them was his own headshot where he smacked the chair. I was like, up. He's dead.
And that was after we commented, wow, he's been taking a lot. Oh, he just did it again.
Yep.
Now, does he get fined for that?
That's what I want to know. Did he get fined for giving himself a chair shot to the head? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know what to say, but I got one. Actually, this one was just a spectacle for me. Was Shane and Kevin Owens?
I thought it was a fun match. I thought it was fine.
I put it toward the bottom of the best matches of the year, but I figured I should mention it.
It's your favorite.
I figured I'd mention it though because there's just a lot of moments where it really felt like either Shane or Kevin was gonna get the Mankind treatment and like just fucking like die, you know. Yeah. And when they're on top of that cage, it really felt like they were trying to break it because they were just stepping.
At some point, I feel like they wanted to go through the top, and it just didn't work.
But I liked it. It was
a good match. Fair match. Yeah. Not talking about a match specifically, but they came out with an article on WWE's MVP of the year. I want to kind of get your guys' opinion on who you think is this year's MVP for WWE.
Like the best superstar that they had?
Best WWE superstar this year, not NXT.
Mine's between two.
Main roster.
It's hard for me, but it's two.
The Miz.
Who's your other one?
AJ Styles. Because this was like his best year so far.
But yeah, Rolling Stones picked The Miz as WWE's MVP this year. And I was like, we've been saying that for the past 3 months. No, I agree because the Miz has been phenomenal this year. He really has. He's stepped up a lot. Even last year, I felt like he was a top candidate to be an
Like,
MVP.
he feels like
there.
one of the top superstars right now on that roster.
Oh, I feel like if on Raw the Universal title wasn't off TV so much because Brock's held it like hostage for a while, I feel like the Miz would be in one of those
Oh, definitely.
categories trying to take that title because I feel like he belongs with a title now.
He's been regarded as arguably the greatest heel, like, in that business.
Of this generation right now? Yes.
Because I would say Jericho's 08 heel run was really, really good.
True, but Jericho has been a face before. Miz hasn't really ever truly been like a
Kind
real.
of a face at one point, but no, he's just because his character isn't even in like a gimmick or anything. He's just like a cocky, arrogant piece of shit. He's a chicken shit heel.
Yeah.
And it fits
He makes it
perfectly
work.
because it works and he embraces it, which he's not that type of guy outside of the ring, which is even funnier because he's like one of the coolest guys outside of the ring. But, you know, inside the ring, no, he's great. He draws enough heat whenever he goes. But the thing is now is that the fans realize how good he is now and that even when he tries to get cheap heat, it doesn't work anymore. He doesn't get heat. He's getting like CM Punk when he turned heel towards the end of his career. He was getting cheered, and everyone was still supporting him and cheering for him and going crazy. It's the same with The Miz. Everyone loves The Miz right now. The best thing to do right now would be to put, once the title happens, where Brock's no longer champion, and whoever wins it, have The Miz win it at some point. Have The Miz go on a run. Because back when he was champion, it didn't work. Now would be the perfect time for him to be the guy.
And he could do it.
Absolutely.
One thing we kind of left out was the women's division. Compared to 2016, I think this year Khan took a step back. But we did have Asuka versus Ember Moon, which was probably
one of the better feuds
one
of
the
the
best
year.
women's
Yes,
match of the year.
absolutely. What was that? Fatal 4-Way. It was Asuka, Nikki,
Ruby.
yeah, Ruby, and
Is that the Peyton one?
yeah, it was the one where what's her name went through the Nikki went through the table and everything. I thought that match was match of the year because that had everything, everyone going everywhere, and everyone was just chaos. But it was good chaos, not like the Survivors, the Charlotte versus Natalia Lumberjill match we just saw. That was bad chaos.
Or Dodo on a pole match.
You mispronounced crap.
So bad. Yes, it was crap. And yeah, the dildo on the pole match was not very good.
What was the one?
Enjoy that.
Oh yeah, with the kendo stick with Bailey and.
Dodo on a pole match.
Dildo on a pole match. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that was not good.
that
at
was a
all.
freaking train wreck.
Terrible. Terrible.
Like, for the most part, it feels like the main women, the Charlotte, the Bailey, the Sasha, the Becky matches, they've all been good matches. But
Well, the thing is that we had Charlotte and Sasha go back and forth, where Charlotte would win every pay-per-view, Sasha would win the title on Raw, and then would lose it the next pay-per-view. She'd win it right before the pay-per-view and then lose it. Or she would never hold the title, was never successful at defending the title. She just wins it and that's it. You know? And then Charlotte, God knows they're pushing her because of, well, Flair.
Woo!
Exactly. Becky really, ever since her title run, hasn't had any type of
but
run.
when she's in a match,
really
it's
had
still-
any-
Like
anything.
this year now has been more focused on like Asuka down to NXT, and it didn't even matter who else because Asuka had her undefeated streak. She's still undefeated technically. And then you had, you know, NXT was like Asuka, Ember, everyone else. So it didn't even matter. And there's a lot of good female wrestlers down there right now.
there is.
And it's the same with the main roster. It's Charlotte, Sasha, and then down here is like Alexa. Right after Sasha's like Alexa right now because she's had a really good year. Alexa's had a really good year. And then everyone else is like way down here compared to those three. But Charlotte's like in a league of her own because that's how WWE's booking
I
her.
do have a feeling that 2018 with the Women's Royal Rumble, it's going to set up some
Big changes.
Some
I
big
feel like it's really going
matches.
to turn things
I
around.
think next year's women's division will be.
I
way
think we're
better
going to
than
see
this
a lot
past
more.
year.
Like we saw some cool things with the Divas in the the women's division this year, but there was also a lot lacking.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like people tried to live up to that Sasha Bailey match at TakeOver Brooklyn that they had, and everyone tried living up to that. And you can't recreate that. The atmosphere was different. The fans were going nuts and were into it the whole time. The meaning behind that match.
You got to create a new memory.
Like they got to create new stuff. Everyone's trying to do their own thing. They're trying to push the women, but they're also taking away from the time that they're trying to give the women as well to give other people a chance because they have so much crap going on. It's not even funny. It's like, oh, well, where do we allot this time? Where do we put this? Where do we put that? Yeah, it was cool to see a women's Hell in a Cell match this year, but it was kind of shitty at the same time because it wasn't that great. It was okay, but
They're
it
not
just
giving the matches the time that they need.
Yeah,
no, I feel like that's been a big part of WWE. They either give matches enough time,
yeah.
But then they give matches where, like, wow, this match should have, like, this amount of time, and they give them, like, nothing.
That's the problem they do with some of these matches, where it's just a brawl before the match even starts. And then it's like when the actual match does start and it gets going, it's only, like, 5 to 7 minutes long. Yeah. When the last, like, 10 to 12 minutes was just a brawl outside of, like, the heel beating the shit out of the babyface.
Yeah, so the babyface comes back and wins.
Well, in this case, no.
Well,
Charlotte.
Orton Rusev, SummerSlam. Rusev kicked the crap out of him, came back in.
I don't actually recall that match because I try not to think about it.
Or Finn Bray Wyatt. That's another one.
Yeah, that one was actually pretty disappointing because Bray was doing pretty awesome. WWE.
Rusev is undefeated in Rudy's mind.
In my mind, it's always
Rusev's the world champ.
Rusev Day!
That is an awesome gimmick. It's really getting over. A lot of people are loving it. They're saying, like, no matter what, like, starting in 2018, Rusev is going to get a push because of
Hashtag push Rusev.
And if
I think
they
it's
do,
going to happen.
He could be next year's Wrestler of the Year.
Could be. I mean, the gimmick right now is really starting to take off. But, yeah.
The only other person I think would come close, I mean, you have AJ, but if you include the NXT, Asuka's probably right there. She's definitely the Women's Wrestler of the Year.
Oh, absolutely. It's not even
year.
close.
No.
Every match she put on was great. Yeah, it's not even close to anything on the main roster. Female of the Year for the main roster, you'd probably have to say Alexa. She was the only one to have the SmackDown and Raw.
Yep.
I mean, Charlotte now too, but, you know, it was more Alexa had a really big year. They were more focused on Alexa than they were anywhere else in the main roster.
Well, Alexa's been showing stuff that people didn't know that she had in her.
Yeah.
With Charlotte, we know what she has in her.
We know what
she is.
Yeah. We know who she is. We know what she has. We know her capability. We know her talent. So, you know, it's kind of a given. Tag Team of the Year. Go.
Pains me to say it.
Main roster and NXT. Both.
Pains me to say it. Main roster, Usos.
I know. As much as it pains you, I know you weren't going to say it. Rudy, main roster Tag Team of the Year.
Main roster for me, probably have to go with the Usos also.
You can't deny it. It's as much. I know it pains you, but you cannot deny it. There's no denying it. How good they have been all year. I mean, I praise them enough. Everyone else, Nick made a basketball team after them, so. You know, it's hard to not say it, but as coming from where they were,
won a lot more than his fantasy basketball team.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's like I win 10.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Shots fired.
Anyway,
just change it to the Cleveland Browns.
Party over here.
But NXT, I don't know. It's tough for NXT because there's a couple tag teams that are there.
Undisputed Era came in a little too late.
Yeah, they came in a little too late for that. I mean, I'm kind of on the fence because I really liked Authors of Pain. DIY was great until they split up.
Yeah, which is why I took them off the list.
Yeah. Revival was gone half the year.
I think they would have been the only team to come close to the Usos if they didn't get hurt.
If they actually had the opportunity to, like, wrestle, yeah, I agree. Because they're just fucking great.
NXT, for
NXT,
me, it might be Sanity.
I would probably have to say
Mine's Sanity.
Authors of Pain is up there because they had a good run. But they had a lot of runs with the older guys, and then once the newer ones came in, like DIY splitting up, Revival getting called up. They had Sanity.
Well, for me with Sanity, we got to watch them grow as a tag team.
Yeah, it's true. You're right.
Eric Young leading that group, the best thing that could happen.
Works wonders. Alexander Wolf's underrated. I think he's a great worker.
When I used to watch him do all get squashed every other week by whoever they were trying to push, and then see him here, I'm like, see what he can do.
And he looks a lot better. Killian Dane, I think, is one of the best big men in WWE right now.
Yes.
He's athletic as hell. He's strong. He looks the part.
Going into 2018, Sanity is one of the
top teams
I want to look at throughout the year.
Yeah.
And Nikki Cross is a little tank. Takes a beating.
Nikki Cross is tougher than half the main men's
brings such
roster.
a bigger aspect to anything she's
I could
in.
see a match with
in
her.
the beginning, everyone else said, I remember you saying something like, she doesn't do anything for me yet, and then she grows on you. It was the same with me. I was like, I've seen a little bit of her work. I'm like, she's a work in progress. Her being showcased in NXT now, it's like...
I could see her put on a match with Nia Jax, and Nia Jax just doing all this shit to her, and Nikki's just standing back up like,
haha.
Is that the best you got?
Wrestling net. Just keeps getting back up and hitting back.
Yeah. You're right. NXT Male Superstar of the Year.
I got mine.
It's so hard.
For me,
For
I
me.
I already made mine up.
Aleister
Black. Oh my god. Like he's the kind of he's a star that when he does
he just
go to
has
the main
an aura
roster
about him. Like he's there. He's one of my guys I would pick, but I have a couple other people too.
He looks like a disciple of like the Ministry of Darkness.
I want to hear yours before I give mine.
I don't know I mean, Aleister Black's up there. I love Andrade Cien Almas ever since he's changed, and I think he finally got a title shot that he deserved. Who else is on there? Roderick Strong's been good for most of the year. Maybe not my top pick, but I'm just giving him an honorable mention because he deserves it.
Undisputed Era hasn't been here long enough.
No, they haven't been here long enough. McIntyre was good until he got hurt, but he hasn't been here that long. But we also lost people. We lost Shinsuke. We lost Bobby Roode. We lost... who else got called up? There's a couple of people who got called up where it was kind of like...
Ty Dillinger got called
Ty
up.
Dillinger got called. I wouldn't have given him that. But yeah, he was good enough. Ty was someone I enjoyed to see on TV.
If Ty was still down in NXT, he would be in this picture with everyone.
Probably, because he had a chance. But no, for me, it's probably between Aleister Black and Andrade.
Mine's Andrade Cien Almas.
Because
he was there
before, and he got jobbed out.
He was getting jobbed. He had every reason to be mad at the company, just to be like, what the fuck are you doing with me? But he stuck it out. They got his title.
They brought in Vega.
Won.
They brought in Vega, which worked for him because they've been friends. They changed his gimmick and his character. No,
his first either.
His gimmick was kind of whatever. But don't get me wrong. I love every match he's in because he puts on a hell of a show every time. Every match he's in is great. And then they put him with Vega. They kind of gave him like a new edge, a new fire, kind of something different to have with him while he's in the matches. And he just looks more confident now. And now he's got the title. Yeah, I would be too. But yeah, he's up there with it.
What would you guys say was your favorite "This is awesome" moment of the year? Whether like something that was like shocking or something that was like just up there for you in terms of like, holy crap, you got you pumped.
There's a couple moments for me. The Hardys coming back at Mania because I didn't think they were actually going to use him at Mania. I thought it was going to be like the Raw after. But the fact that they wrestled a ladder match the Saturday before and then wrestled in another ladder match the night after. Plus, I didn't think, like I said, I didn't think WrestleMania was going to be their night. I thought it was going to be the Raw after because that's always what it is. They bring up the Shock or the call-ups and all that stuff. So when they showed up on there, I actually got goosebumps because I was like, holy shit, I haven't seen this in years.
Like, there was options in your head, like, oh, it could be this.
It could have been the Revival. It could have been DIY. It could have been this tag team. It could have been that tag team. It could have been the Dudleys again, even though they left already. You know, it could have been a lot of different tag teams. And out of nowhere is just the Hardys. And you're like, wow.
for me was seeing Kane climb out from the bottom of the ring and coming back with his mask on in that cage match and just destroying Roman Reigns. That was pretty awesome, seeing Kane again.
Great colleague.
For his 30-second cameo.
I'm not gonna lie, he is a big dude. Like, I know he's a big dude on TV, but
No,
I was there live for
he's
that.
a literal giant.
He is massive. As I sat there, I was like, wow, Baron Corbin looks pretty big compared to, like, in person, compared to, like, on TV.
His jaw.
I saw Khali, I was like, he made Corbin look tiny.
Khali has, like, these scars on his chest, and I swear to God someone tried to shoot him once.
Or stab him.
Or stab him.
Trying to
I take.
They're gonna jump at him and stab him up there?
No, you just look at the guy like the blade knife, like, I take no bump tonight. No bump.
No bump.
No bump. No bump.
What do you mean no bump?
No bump. Kunk.
He's like one of those guys that you shouldn't like, but for some reason...
He entertains you.
He's entertaining.
He entertains me. He was so bad in everything he did. But he entertained me.
He'll come up to you and be like,
I'd be like,
yeah, man. Yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
yeah, why not?
Okay.
Okay, take your pants off. What? That's an old joke. Don't worry about it.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
We need Jesus.
Jesus would have won.
I feel bad for him.
Big
'Cause I feel
Jesus.
like he's just always going to be that guy who's just developing talent. He's never going to get the push he wants or deserves. Because he's a really good wrestler. I want him to get, like, more... That's what I want in 2000.
You know what he is? Zack Ryder.
Yeah, I mean, I think Zach's a little more entertaining. But I feel like Zach also had the chance to showcase his entertaining side, where Ono has not. Like, Ono's good. Every time I see him...
He's going to put on
Like
great matches.
that match he had with Gargano for the number one contendership spot, that was a great match. Really good match.
We had that, what, was it Lars Sullivan in a match with?
That match with Sullivan was great.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great match.
Sullivan scares me.
Lars Sullivan's a guy I want to watch in 18 and see where he goes.
He scares me.
I could... If he needs to develop a little bit more with polishing what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, some of his stuff needs to be fixed a little more, but, you know, he's... I will say, though...
I don't want to see him Mojo Rawley it for me.
No.
Mojo doesn't look any different than he did in NXT.
No.
Just didn't polish any of his moves, thinks he can just do it on his raw athletic ability.
Yeah, no. And I feel like Lars is learning because he's tried. I will say this. Lars Sullivan can sell. Because I watched the match. I don't know if you guys saw it on NXT last night. It was the Fatal 4-Way to determine who's facing Andrade Cien almost at NXT TakeOver in Philly before Royal Rumble. By the way, great match between the four. It was Sullivan, Gargano, Aleister Black, and who was the last guy? Oh, Killian Dane. All good, capable guys in that ring. Lars Sullivan took a bump through a table, and he sold that thing well. Like, not just going through the table, but afterwards. Like, it's very rare. You'll see people, like, do stuff and get hurt, and they forget to sell later on. They'll act like nothing happened. Like, someone gets their knee worked over, and then, like, later on in the match, oh, did he just forget his knee hurt or something like that?
He jumped off it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he was selling, like, like, the whole way back. And it worked. I thought that was great. So at least he knows that fundamental part of, like, sell. Make sure you sell, no matter what. So that worked for me. I feel like he's going to be a bright spot next year. He's going to get more, face value. Like a lot of guys. Maybe even get called up. Who knows? I don't.
Not right now.
No. Probably like
June.
Yeah. Another shake-up.
Right before SummerSlam.
Shake-up.
So I'd say 2017 was a pretty good year for
it was a
WWE.
solid year of wrestling. There was some pretty shit pay-per-views, matches. Definitely a lot of, stinkers.
Like, I hope we never see a Punjabi prison match ever again.
I don't think so.
We will never see that. We will see another War Games.
I hope so. They should make that a pay-per-view every year.
Just War Games.
War Games every year.
Just a try for the main
They
roster.
need to make sure they put the right people in the match.
Oh yeah, it has like this one worked. The only thing that was weird is like why the fuck is Roddy in it now? That was just random to throw Roddy with Authors of Pain.
Someone with
but it worked because that match was great. They made it work.
There was one match we forgot. Probably, I know Rudy really liked the match. It was the Neville versus Enzo Amore. He's speechless. That's how much he loved that match.
No words can describe how much Rudy loved that match. Oh, well, speaking of Neville, one of his matches I felt went underrated. Him versus Austin Aries at WrestleMania. I thought that match was great.
205 Live went underrated. If you want good wrestling, you watch that and NXT.
205 Live's forever tainted.
Don't worry.
You're just salty that Enzo Amore is the most exciting thing in the roster.
Rudy's not even going to give that he's entertaining because he is entertaining on the mic. He's really funny.
Shut up, guys.
Look, I think he's a shit wrestler too, but I think he's funny as hell when he talks.
I just think he's shit.
He's a certified G.
He's from Jersey. You should automatically be a fan of him.
No.
You know what Rudy is?
No.
It's only one word to
describe him. Do you want to spell it out for him?
I do.
SAWFT.
Stop right now! Stop! You guys are so lame! That's so lame! The level of gay that was just brought upon me.
What's wrong with gays? First you're a racist, now you're a homophobe? Oh, Rudy, come on, man. It's 2017, dude.
I love these guys so much.
That was kind of gay.
He's calling us gay. He's like, I want to do them.
We have to end the year right with Rudy.
Just watch, Rudy. You're going to fall in love with Enzo Amore like we have.
Yeah.
I'm going to kill you guys. It's going to happen.
And on that note,
hope
thank
you
you
have
for
a great
for listening this long.
Yep.
Enjoy your new year.
Yep.
Get
Happy
wasted.
New Year. Or not. Your choice.
Keith won't be.
Just be safe.
Get wasted. Don't work or drive.
Yeah. Always get a DD. And I'll also be another year older.
Yes.
Yeah, my birthday's coming up. It's gonna be
You'd
fun.
be 13.
No.
Yep.
14 and a half.
And good night.
Good night.
Yeah.